What is up, guys? It's your boy Kazak here, and today I have a little bit of an interesting video for you guys. And today, this is going to be my first series of videos called JRPG Headlines, where I basically give my thoughts on current gaming news and information that's came out recently, and just give you like my quick thoughts on them. And nothing really crazy. This is just like videos where, in case if I can't make like an individual video talking about it, I can at least make these kind of videos to where I can give my quick 2 cents on the games or announcements that's been going on, and just kind of go from there, you know what I mean? And one of the first things I wanted to talk about is the Lunar Collection. Now, in case you don't know, these are very like beloved PS1 classic JRPGs, or at least one of the most beloved JRPGs on the PlayStation 1. And these games have quite a reputation for themselves. Like, these games are very well known in the JRPG community as being some of the best games, or JRPGs specifically, you can play on the PlayStation 1. Up there with like the Suikoden 2s, the Star Ocean 2s, Chrono Cross, Final Fantasy, all that stuff, a bunch of just great JRPGs. You're more than likely going to see like somebody talk about the Lunar games. Now, I'm somebody who's never really played the Lunar games before, so I'm really happy to actually get a chance to experience these games for once, because you know, these have been like games I've always wanted to play, but I just never gotten the chance to because they've just been so inaccessible for such a long time. And here we are now. These games are going to be available next year for PlayStation, PC, and I believe Nintendo Switch as well. So this is absolutely amazing news. And to be honest with you guys, the more classic JRPGs that we can get be remastered and be able to be accessible for everybody to play and to enjoy, just like the Suikoden remasters as well, I say that this is definitely something we should keep pushing for and keep looking forward to, man. Like, we need to support this stuff because, again, not only does this give us players the chance to experience these games, but who knows, maybe if these games perform really well, this series could have a future at some point. But only time may tell on that one. We'll just have to wait and see. But personally, I'm still very excited to try these games out and get my hands on them. Next up, we have Ys 10 Nordics, which I believe just came out like yesterday. And this is a Ys game that I've been keeping my eye on for a while now, and I've had a little bit of not necessarily concerns, but I was really curious to see how Ys 10 will turn out, because it's doing a lot of interesting stuff. Like, for example, there's 2 main characters this time around. It seems like the combat system is a little bit different than before, not like what we are used to in like Ys 8 and 9 and stuff like that. So going into it, I low-key kind of was a little on the fence, but once I played the demo, I was like, oh, okay, I really like the direction they're going with this game. Like, the story seems pretty interesting. The gameplay is very engaging. Like, this game was actually kind of hard for me to like play at first, because I was just like, okay, there's a lot of brand new mechanics I gotta learn. Like, I can't just like play it like I did with like Ys 8 and 9. This game actually plays differently, and because of that, I actually have to learn the mechanics of the game, and it was really solid. I really enjoy the new approach when it comes to like exploration and just a bunch of other stuff you can do, like, you know, ship battles, which personally I think are cool, but right now they are kind of a little meh to me. But it's the fact that they're really going out of their way to add in so much like variety in terms of content for Ys 10 that really makes me very much impressed. And I like it. I really like the way that it's turning out. I'm definitely going to be getting my hands on it, playing it, and really enjoying it. Now, the only thing that bothers me right now is really just the marketing for Ys 10 Nordics. Like, for some reason, it seems like NIS is not really pushing this game out as much as they are with like the Trails games, like Trails Through Daybreak and stuff like that. And while I do get that the Trails series right now is the bigger center of attention for a lot of JRPG players, I don't think that should like deter people from like actually looking at this game and being like, hey guys, you should try this game out because it's shaping up to be a very solid action JRPG. I think you should be focusing on marketing the games that you have coming out this year rather than just constantly sending out like a lot of like promotion for Trails Through Daybreak, which is coming out like in what, February, I believe. I think it is coming out in February. And I don't say this as like a dig towards Trails or nothing like that, because once again I do enjoy it a lot. But I'm also just like honestly a bigger Ys fan than I am a Trails guy. So it does kind of bother me a little bit to see like there is a little bit of a lack of attention for this game, it feels like to me. So that's why I'm including it in today's video, because I just wanted to talk about it a little bit and give it a little bit more love for those who haven't really or didn't really like know that this game was coming out. In fact, at first I kind of forgot that this game was coming out until like the demo, where I was like, crap, I gotta cover this game and actually play it, you know what I mean? I want to get my hands on it. But outside of that though, I'm very excited for it. I can't wait to get my hands on this game. I don't know if it's going to top Ys 8 for me personally, because Ys 8 was just such a phenomenal game to me. I loved its story, I loved its characters, the combat was so fun. Ys 8 was just such a fun, cozy game to me, and it meant a whole lot to me. Like, I might make a separate video talking about Ys 8 at some point, because that game came at a time, it came at a very, very important time where I needed a game like it. I really did. So I don't know if it's really going to top that for me personally. I know that that's just like a little bias, but again, like, you gotta understand that game holds a special place for me. But you know, who knows? Maybe Ys 10 can probably knock it out of the park and be like the new number one favorite for me. I don't think that's likely, but I do think it might be a close second. I definitely think it'll be a close second. Either way, all this to say, can't wait to get my hands on it. I'm gonna buy it, play it, and enjoy it, and also 100% it too, because I enjoy doing that for Ys games as well. Up next, we have Metor Rave Fantasio, and damn, man, Metor has been going off the charts lately. I've been seeing this game get 9 out of 10s. It's got like a 93 on Metacritic. I believe it sold like 1 or 2 million units like within the first day or something like that. This game is really popping off right now, and it really shocked me because I was kind of afraid at first for this game, because I thought people were going to like put this game down because it copied so much from Persona, but it seems like everybody is really rocking with it right now. Everybody's loving this game right now, and it's going crazy. It really is. Like, this game has already sold stupid numbers for Atlus, and quite frankly, they deserve it, because this game, from what I played from the demo, was just so good. Like, the characters are really likable, the setting is really unique too, and it has like this interesting overall style to it, where it's fantasy, but it's a very unique kind of fantasy where they do a lot with it. They really do go in and basically explore the concept of like fantasy, and Atlus went all out with this game. Genuinely, they really did. Like, I'm just shocked, because you know, this game is way more unique and interesting than anything that they've put out in recent memory, you know, which has mostly just been Persona and occasional Shin Megami Tensei games every now and then. This one just feels refreshing in a weird way. Like, yeah, it borrows elements from Persona, but this game genuinely just feels refreshing and different in a weird sort of way. It's very, very interesting. You know, I can't wait to get my hands on this game, because it just looks so freaking good. I'm very, very excited for it, man. Overall, I'm happy for Atlus, and more power to them, because sheesh, this game is really doing it right now, man. It's great. Next up, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Tales of Remastered project. So there was this little thing where the producer came in and said that he wanted to remaster Tales of the Abyss at some point in the future. And I kind of want to get on here and just talk about why it's very important that this is even happening in the first place. And that's because the thing about the Tales series is that I love this series a lot. And it's one of my favorite JRPG series of all times. And honestly, the thing is that in more recent years, the Tales series hasn't gotten enough love. It hasn't gotten enough love, enough appreciation. And a lot of that likely has to do because of the fact that Bandai Namco has just been making a lot of boneheaded decisions lately. And they just haven't been doing the best job when it comes to keeping people interested and pushing people into enjoying these games and really getting invested into this franchise. And I want this project to do incredibly well. And one of the things I actually kind of made my YouTube channel for was that I wanted to help push the Tales series further, because it's such a great series, man. I think a series like this should not be tossed aside, or at least like ignored, when there's so much great games that are in this franchise, and a lot of them have never seen the light of day, mainly because of the fact that Bamco just never bothered to translate these games over here in the West and actually have them gain a following or of any sorts and stuff like that. And that's why I really criticize Bandai Namco so hard when it comes to the Tales series, because this series has a lot of potential. It really does. It can push itself to become something even greater than what Arise was. I felt like Arise was a great game and pushed the series further, despite what some people may say. Some people have their criticisms of the game, but honestly, I felt like Arise was a great step in the right direction. You know, it was a very good step in the right direction. It was a solid game. Everything about it was very solid. It just needs more push. And once again, it feels like Bamco is not doing that. I just think that, you know, whatever it is that they're doing, I know they're working on the remaster project as well, and I get it. You know, I don't want to seem like I'm just complaining just for the sake of complaining, but I say all this stuff because I genuinely do care about this series, and I want to see it be improved, you know. And that's the thing. Sometimes, this is the thing. When you're a major fan of a game franchise or something like that, it's okay to criticize and actually have like your honest, raw thoughts on it, whether it be very positive or negative, you know. And this is something that I felt pretty strongly about, because in recent years, Tales just hasn't been getting the love that it deserves. Not necessarily from the JRPG community. I'm not putting that out there towards like the community itself, but more or less from the company rather than like the community. Because I still see a lot of people support Tales games and support the series and stuff like that, which is great. It's always awesome to see like more people talk about this series and stuff like that. But when it comes to the company themselves, and honestly, Bandai Namco in general is really just having an issue with their first party games, you know, like Dot Hack, Xenosaga. It feels like for some weird reason they're not utilizing their first party games to their fullest and really trying to reel people into these games, because all of these games have potential. But, you know, all that is for like a completely separate video. I'll specifically just talk about Tales for right now. So yeah, that's just how I feel right now. Now, if they do like a Tales of the Abyss remaster, I'll be very happy and excited to play that, because Tales of the Abyss is such a phenomenal game. That game has such a good story behind it, relatable characters. It has such a crap ton of content in there. It really was a shame that it only got like a 3DS port and nothing else. In my opinion, this feels like a game that should have been ported onto PlayStation 3 and PS4 years ago. Although with that said though, I seriously do hope Xillia is the next game to be remastered, because the Xillia duology games are just so freaking good. I'm sorry, those games, I love Xillia way too much for them to not get a remaster. It would really disappoint me if I don't see a Xillia remaster, But again, this project has just started, so we gotta wait and see on that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to say for today's video. You know, I just wanted to make a little bit of a quick ramble, tangent sort of RPG video. This is going to become like a series at some point in the future. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this, trying out some new stuff here. But yeah, until the next video, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.